Okay. First of all, if anybody here did not attend yesterday's field trip, you missed out because we nailed it. We got a bunch of really good combination of curriculum. I've done this field trip for many years, but yesterday was like the first time I thought it was a great success.
Great success.
I came back to school with like a total feel-good vibe, and Banks is killing it for me with her cell phone using class, but it was a really good trip. Where's my coffee?
What?
Where's my coffee? You're not full enough.
You're at home. I got like 4 people. Text me.
Okay. I will find a way to know wherever you're going. For coffee. Yeah. Okay. Next. I'd like to do the stars for the... Oh, if you want to make your packet early, this is your homework packet for tomorrow, because I'm going to be gone timing again, so you'll need this. And then I want to do the stars first. Then I want to fill in any study goals that we haven't talked about. And I think we could probably pull all this off in one period if we all kind of keep it focused. So are we all ready for stars? Yeah. How about now? Okay. In the chapter 21 vocab, I don't know how to say this, like, all those words are important, none of them are tricky. That's a funny scene. That's a really funny scene.
Sorry.
So when you, like, stifle a sneeze like that, does that cause any other, like...
No, you don't.
Yeah, lose your soul or like tear drop or something? Like,
Yeah,
you do 21 grams. Really? Is that what yours says?
I always do.
How?
Yeah, but I just
How
know.
does it feel when like you stifle like 20 sneezes and then finally?
I indulge in the leaving of my sneeze. I make the loudest, most violent sneezes. I kick my children's sneezing with the heart. Two. Let it go. Say what now? Okay, here we go. All right. That's my fault. It's becoming your fault. All right. All of those guys in chapter 21 is important. None of it is tricky. There's not like technical details that I'm worried about. On the other hand, when we talk about hydrology, these are just the words that everybody knows. It's like saying wind and cloud and rain. All that chapter 21 vocab is just the words we use in this unit. There's nothing fancy, but all of them you have to know really clearly. In chapter 22, eutrophic and bioremediation. Eutrophication, eutrophic. You say eutrophic. Same thing.
Okay, as in like a eutrophic lake.
A eutrophic lake, or the process of making things eutrophic, which is called eutrophication. The first assignment was 1 through 10 of the movie. In study goal number 1, the Narmada River conspiracy or whatever, the impact of the development on native people that were flooded out of their homes. That's a really famous example. the displacement of people on the Narmada, the SAR. In number 2, it's not so much the Yacyretá Dam in particular, but what it illustrates about diseases in the tropics, like schistosomiasis, that gets stuck. Remember, when you have a puddle of standing water in the tropics, that's a place to breed disease. So all tropical dams encourage the spread of disease because you get water hot enough to harbor disease organisms that are common to humans or other animals. Schistosomiasis is one example. In the tropics, there are other diseases too. Number 3 is a 2-star issue. The Three Gorges Dam is world famous. And by the way, number 23 also goes with 3. Mexico City, number 4, also world famous example. Everybody everywhere knows about Mexico City's problems. A couple of factoids you might be curious about. 20 million people have a limited water supply in Mexico City alone. Many parts of Mexico City and greater Mexico lack water altogether. There's no municipal water supply at all. Everybody's just on their own. Some parts of Mexico City, catch this number, sink 12 inches a year because of extracting groundwater. That would mean 10 feet in a decade? That's really early.
Every 10 years they have to do the story.
Yeah, basically, like that would make it the highest rate of subsidence anywhere on Earth. And it's caused by groundwater extraction. Yeah.
My family lives in Mexico City, and she goes like downtown and where all the church, like that big old churches and stuff. Like you can see,
Like
all the buildings are like that way,
right.
underground. And there's this one building that's really famous. They used to have like this huge staircase, and now there's like 3
No kidding. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I hadn't heard that example. I've heard that there's streets that have gotten so subsided that now they fill up with rain. So, like, pockets that have kind of dipped in parts of Mexico City. And yeah, I've heard the thing about the buildings. I've heard it's like a really big threat outside of downtown also. Because outside of downtown, a lot of the houses have changed their construction.
And like when there's an earthquake, it's like really gnarly. Like I was in this little earthquake when we were there, and like the chandelier almost fell from the ground.
Okay, so Mexico City. Oh, here's another funny number. 33% of their water supply is lost in leaky pipes. A third of their water.
They don't have water at that time.
You know, and everybody goes, Mexico. But actually, like, that's true all over the world. Like, we lose a significant amount of our water supply in leaks, too. Many parts of Mexico spend a quarter of their daily income, a quarter of their yearly income on water. I mean, the United States, think about it. Like, I work 2 hours for a year's worth of water. Or whatever that is, 3 or 4 hours. Which for some of your parents would be like 1 minute. Number 6 gets a star. And remember, anytime you see them, you have to study solutions as well as the problem. So there's 3 study goals that have water solutions. That would be 6, 7, and 19. All 3 of those are solutions to water issues. Number 8 gets a star because of that issue with farmers and water. Here's the funny thing. We use our tax dollars to give them water that they sell back to us. So we pay them to make a profit from the water we bought for them. It's like, here, this cost me $2. Have a burrito. And then, hey, can I buy that burrito from you for $4? Like, I'm buying the thing for him and then buying it from him so he can profit. So I bought this twice. Once at the real price, and now that it's rare, at an inflated price, and he just keeps the difference. It don't make no sense. Like, wipe it before you poop. Yeah.
Unlike what they talked about in that maybe flow where, you know, like Nestle in Michigan or wherever just bought up a bunch of properties so they could take the free groundwater and then bottle it and sell it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So that's at the retail level.
Yeah.
At the municipal level, the city of Los Angeles will buy from big farmers that now make more money selling the water than using the water for the food because the food don't sell for that much. Number 10 gets a star. And 10 goes with 25 and 36, all Colorado River. Anything about the Colorado River, I'm sorry, it's one of those trivia things. I don't know how much you need to know about the Colorado, but the College Board expects you to be an expert about the Colorado because it's the most famous American river. $11 gets a star, but it's simple. Just make sure you're familiar. Same with 13. It's simple. Just make sure you got it. Number 15 gets 1 star. I'm sorry about that thing. Number 15 gets 1 star because the Ogallala Aquifer is known everywhere in the world. And number 16 gets a star. Not the desal, but the problem with desal, which is the extreme cost.
How much would it cost, like, to turn some ocean water, like, if I'm living in LA, like, how much would it cost to turn some ocean water into drinkable water?
Per gallon. Yeah, they try that.
But do you know, or?
All right, I'll make up a number for you. I'll make up an estimate. You mean the municipal level, right? Like, what would your share be if it had a big desal plant? Probably triple to 10 times the cost of other existing sources for the hydrants. There are parts of the world where the cost goes down or the alternatives go up.
Will they have to resort to that, though, or will they always find a way?
Sooner or later, it seems very likely. Many parts of the world are already doing this because they, the alternatives are too expensive or they can afford the energy.
Like Israel, right?
What's that?
Like Israel, right?
I don't know if Israel is particular, but the Middle East in general, like UAE, I believe, is the world's most desal. What do you call the United Arab Emirates? It's not a confederacy.
Probably is. I feel like it's like a confederacy.
I figured.
Is it a confederacy? We call it a confederacy? Okay, so it is the most desal confederacy. Yeah. They put it back in the ocean. It's called brine. They don't get it down to the rock salt. They get it to like 6 times natural salinity and then put it back 5 times. Because it's a long way to go from 5 times salt water to solid rock salt.
Just get an animal that like breathes water and takes the salt out.
Great idea. And make it a unicorn so you can ride it. That'd be great. Unicorn with wow. Okay. Number 17, I added urban runoff. And the urban runoff, I think, is a critical issue. Number 19 gets 2 stars. Remember that solutions are a really big deal. And number 19, if you really did your homework, should have a lot of solutions. They were in your book, not in class. 21 gets 2 stars. By now, you should have had it up to here with wetlands. But we saw the sponge effect on the field trip yesterday. For those of you who weren't there, when we were downhill, the river had no water, but when we were uphill, there was actually water in the river. You would expect it runs out first at the top and then builds up at the bottom, but the opposite is true. Because seriously, with the cell phone again,